What makes a good deli?
Pastrami.
Very lovely chicken fat.
Soups, stuffed cabbage,
Smell has to hit you.
Potted meatball.
the bursting flavor,
The big sandwiches.
The pickles.
chicken fricassee.
Giving
You ever see how a Jew walks into a restaurant like a partner? Hello! Let me see my table.
Probably the most unhealthy but most delicious of all Jewish food is celebrated in one country more than any other. Welcome to America.
New York is the cultural, spiritual homeland of Jewish deli, and deli grew from an immigrant ethnic food to a trend that was really in the mainstream in the 30s and 40s.
There was a delicatessen on every single corner.
Now it's really down to just a couple hundred around the country.
I don't sit so close to a wall, so far from a window. My wife don't like the face this way, I don't like the face that way, we don't like the face this way. Why is there so many people in this section? They could be moved over here. The Gentiles ate 4 meals already, and the Jews are picking furniture. Let me see.
Let me tell her she got a great talk. I love this shit. Oh, look at the two guys with a camera. What a bunch of schmucks. How about let me know? I want to see this girl dancing.
I'm not the only one who gets really excited about walking into a Jewish deli. Look at this guy.
My name is Noah Bernemoff, and the restaurant's name is Milen Delicatessen. Milen is called Milen because of my love for that neighborhood of Montreal and the very, very personal history of my family in that neighborhood. I was a second-year law student. I just really hated my life. I started making smoked meat at home as a hobby. That led to me actually thinking through the idea of a Jewish deli in any serious way.
What is going on here?
What are you doing? I got 3 kitchens going. I got brisket going at Newman's. I got Kugel working at Mrs. Sanfino's, and this is Kreplock. Yeah. Try some of this.
No, I don't want to.
Eat. Your skin and bones.
For me, the deli is as much a part of the Jewish contemporary history as the Jewish Chronicle or the Australian Jewish News.
It's an amazing place. I mean, you walk in there and it's just like, whoa, this place has not changed in as many years as it's been open. I think it's been open 85 years now. And what's so cool is when you look up and you see the photos of like the original owners or like even the second or third generation owners, and you look at where they're standing in the store, and then you look at that spot in the store, they're actually, it's the same products sitting in the same case in front of them. When I see that, I mean, it's just unbelievable. The history in there is profound, that's for sure.
A famous American once said that any time a person goes into a delicatessen and orders a pastrami on white bread, somewhere a Jew dies. So why do we need to save the Jewish deli?
Because thousands of Jewish delicatessens have disappeared from America's cities. Because homestyle Jewish cooking is fading from our taste buds. We need to save the deli for the sake of Kreplock, Kishka, Knishes, and Kugel. Why save the deli? Because we believe in the future of the Jewish delicatessen. I'm David Sachs. I wrote the book, Save the Deli. I love delis. You love delis. Together, we can save the deli. I'll take you behind the scenes of the delicatessen business, from the meat packer to the slicing machine. We'll press on pastrami in Los Angeles, corned beef in Chicago, salami in New York, salt beef in London, and smoked meat in Montreal.
In 2007, just before leaving London, I did a little bit of a tour. What is more iconic in London than a double-decker bus or the gherkin in the city, and of course the narrow streets of the East End? Well, of course, the bagel shop, Britain's first and best, where their trademark would be the salt beef with gherkin, and there's no delicate way, even for a lovely young lady to eat a salt beef bagel, but it was worth enjoying, particularly late at night, whether it be down Brick Lane or in some other establishment across London. People work through the night to produce some of the best food. But salt beef is really at the heart and soul of it, and the guys that cut the salt beef behind the counter are almost as iconic as the beef themselves. The actual beef was steaming when it came off that knife, and you could hardly not want to jump on a plate when it was offered to you. It was just delicious. So the salt beef, the ox tongue, the fried gefilte fish balls, and of course the chopped liver and chopped egg were all icons of Bloom's, and that's somewhere I ate most of my meals when I was looking after myself. So much salt beef and loksha pudding, and of course into the West End for an occasional special salt beef at the famous Reuben's Salt Beef Bar. That was a particularly decent feed and an expensive one, because they had the home of the Reuben's Reuben, which was basically a sandwich with beef and sauerkraut with some dressing. How we miss those days.
Can't imagine how long it took us to get to this point.
This seamlessness does not come automatically.
Imagine my excitement when I came across someone else that's blogging, in fact in the form of a podcast. Morning Dew is basically a show put out by Heather Gold and Katie Halper, American comics, who are actually weirder than I am.
6-word memoir?
Yeah.
I thought I would be taller.
Ooh.
Want to hear my Jewish 6-word one? Put on a sweater, I'm cold.
It's actually just two Jewish women in different cities in the States chatting to each other online and filming it. But it does actually make for really great entertainment. I highly recommend it.
You think it's Mongolians?
Yeah. From the steppes.
Is that where we got the eyes? Because I know a lot of Jews with the eyes.
Yeah. With the eyes. I love my shtetl booty so much. No, much.
No.
Much. I very love my shtetl booty.
The Jewish Chronicle in London this week leads with hot news that we're spending £130 a minute on our Jewish weddings. Wow, that's a £55,000 expenditure. I think I spent £2,000 on my second wedding. Obviously a bit of a cheapskate. And the Jewish Chronicle reminds us that Hillary Clinton has entered the presidential race for 2017, and perhaps Bibi will be cautiously optimistic. Certainly a lot happier than he has been with Obama, as Hillary seems to be fairly sympathetic to Israel's position. And finally this week we honoured our 6 million dead on Yom HaShoah, and in particular it's 70 years since the liberation of Buchenwald. The stories that we read both in the papers and online are extraordinary, and we should continue to hear them from our survivors for many more years to come.
During the service, the few hundred people gathered together were sobbing openly, with joy at their liberation, and with sorrow at the memory of their parents and brothers and sisters that had been taken from them and gassed and burned. These people knew they were being recorded. They wanted the world to hear their voice. They made a tremendous effort, which quite exhausted them. Listen.
Yisrael Chai, the children of Israel still liveth.
Survivors of Bergen-Belsen singing Hatikva at Shabbat services on April 20th, 1945, following their liberation by British troops of the Second Army. That transcription of a shortwave broadcast was made in New York City by Mo Ash. The recently discovered recording comes to us from the Smithsonian Center for American Folklife.